Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Timeless Oracle reading. Our Oracle card for today belongs to the Earth Blessings Oracle cards. And we are still in the season or springtime part of the four-season Earth Blessings Oracle deck. So we are still in that portion of springtime. And we are in the second card. The second card is entitled Choices. So this is the back card and this is the front card. So in the card of the choices, we see here certain crevices along the surface of the earth. And then we see here water winding its way to those crevices of the earth. I'm not sure if it's really water, but what I see in those crevices, what comes to my mind, I could be mistaken, is what comes to my mind are the water that are the result of melting snow after springtime, when springtime begins. So when winter ends, the ice slowly melts and water starts to form, and they wind their way through those crevices until they slowly are evaporated into the atmosphere, or they slowly go down or seep into the earth, or slowly wind down to form streams and rivers and goes to the sea. Now, for me, the water that are formed and those that are finding their way through the crevices of the earth surface as they melt, as the ice starts to melt, the water can symbolize us making choices, just as the water tries to choose which route in order to navigate themselves after they melt from ice. They had to make choices, and it's the same for us. After we undergo the winter of transformation, after many changes have happened in us, many of them has led to our growth, our transformation, our spiritual ascension for some. Now, what happens is that changes happen to us, and somehow it affects also our previous relationships. And so choices have to be made not only by us, but also the people that we journeyed with before. Like, for example, if before the transformation happened, there was a crisis moment with somebody in the past that we were journeying with, maybe the crisis moment also was a trigger because you are undergoing changes already. Sometimes when we journey with a person, it's beautiful when we grow together with the person. When we undergo transformation, the other person also undergoes transformation. So we continue to understand the changes that is happening within ourselves. So we are able to continue to grow. It's also good sometimes when we are journeying with somebody who has gone ahead of us. And so when we undergo transformation, they still also understand the changes that are happening in us, because they too somehow have experienced what you are undergoing also. Sometimes it becomes difficult when you undergo change and you undergo growth, but you grow apart from the other person. Now, sometimes growing apart is one person continues to grow while the other remains stagnant and remains unchanged. When that happens, after the transformation of the other person, sometimes choices have to be made. On the person that was left behind when the other one underwent growth and transformation, Sometimes the person no longer understands the person that has changed. If their love for the person is deep, then they will try to understand it and they will try to continue also to grow. But if there are times also when they can no longer understand the changes that have happened to you, and sometimes they choose to go another way and leave you behind. For a moment, there will be a moment of loneliness and maybe a moment of recovery and healing on your part, because somebody that has been important in your life before has decided to no longer journey with you. But then, because of the transformation also, you are also given the grace to accept this new challenge in life. And so, as they made their choice, you also can choose to move forward. Sometimes you can still choose to remain in the old relationship that you have, but at the same time, you realize you cannot keep these beautiful changes that is happening in you. You cannot keep it secret, and sooner or later it comes out. Now it can either inspire the other person to grow also, and that would be a wonderful thing. But sometimes the other person will not understand and they might choose to move away. But you need to move forward. Now sometimes you also would discover, and you sometimes are the one who makes the choice to leave the relationship. One good example is if in the past you endured being battered physically or emotionally or in many ways, or in also you are in a sometimes also you are in a relationship where it is only you who is investing in the relationship and the other person just sort of like freeloads from the relationship. They just keep on receiving and receiving and receiving without giving anything in the relationship. In the past, you might have wanted it, you might have enjoyed that kind of relationship because during that time, you are dependent on the person. You wanted the person to fill up what is lacking in you. But as you undergo that winter of transformation, you realize that you are the source of your joy, and that whether other people are in your life or not, you can still be happy. And you also realize your dignity as a person, and that you realize you deserve respect, you deserve care, you deserve to receive also unconditional love. The unconditional love that you discovered in your inner self as you deepen your relationship with your inner self. And so what happens if you were in a relationship that was not healthy, in a relationship where you were battered maybe, or maybe you were in an unbalanced relationship where you're the only one who is only investing on it, you start to make choices. You can choose to stay while at the same time asking the person to respect you, to respect your space, to recognize your dignity, and you invite them to go up a higher level, to journey with you at a higher level of relationship where the expression of love is more unconditional. If they would like to journey with you, so you leave behind the old relationship that is not very healthy, to something that is even higher, then you realize that this is also a choice. So you can choose to stay in a relationship, but require that the relationship would also grow to something better. But sometimes what happens is because of that gift of free choice, some people would not want to grow. And at the same time, you realize you deserve something better. And so sometimes one of the choices that you make is to let go of things that are no longer good for you, of things that you realize are not really, when in the past you thought it is very vital, you realize you deserve something more. And so what happens is the choices during the springtime of the soul after the transformation is sometimes you need to let go of certain things that are no longer beneficial to you. And when you do that, you open up more space for newer and better things to come in. So when you let go of unhealthy relationships, sooner or later, you attract to you people with the same energy, with the same positive energy, with the same capacity to love unconditionally. And so you develop your soul family. And sometimes you develop a more mature kind of relationship. So part of the springtime of the soul after transformation is making choices. Now let's try to read from the handbook that accompanies this card so that we can gain more insights regarding choices. So there are 3 portions of this handbook, or 3 sections in the reflection for the choices. The first one is the portion of insights. It says here, a tree's branches diverge from the trunk to find the space and light that will feed them. So when springtime comes, the plant usually starts to regrow from the snow, and they spread out their branches in order to find space and to be able to attract or to receive the light coming from the sun. And it says here, the tree's branches diverge from the trunk to find the space and light that will feed them. On your life path, you know it is possible to make a turn rather than keep the same direction, and you make the choice that feels most natural to you. The more transformation we undergo, the more we are docile to the movement of the Spirit. And so when we make choices now, it is more guided by our inner self. The second portion is blessings, and it's sort of like a prayer. It says here, may this decision offer you the potential for growth. May you choose from a place of calm. May this decision bring you what you need. May your choices support your well-being. And I feel if you constantly listen to the lessons and messages coming from your inner realm, you will find that you're going towards this direction of the blessings. Now, we end with an affirmation. It says here, I exercise my power to choose. Now that you realize that you deserve much better, you are given that freedom and that empowerment to finally make choices with confidence and also having good boundaries also. Now that you have good boundaries, you're able to say no to things that are not helpful or beneficial to you, and you're able to say yes to the new things that are coming your way. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for the likes and comments you've given to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I hope to see you again soon. Until that time, may God continue to bless your ways.